Trump's Prophecy News Update. This is Carrie Geren Scoggins reporting. Discussing today, now that Trump has taken office, we've seen he's repealed part of Hillary's failed NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, bringing back the 20% tariff. Most see it as a tariff on Mexican imports. However, it's actually just a tariff on those that have left the United States going down to Mexico in order to profiteer off of the Mexican workers. Getting around the EPA laws, wage laws, the labor unions. Going down to Mexico and treating the Mexican worker like slave labor. What does this mean for America? The undoing of the very legislation that helped bring a national bankrupt nation of overextended debt, low-income jobs, and as Bill Clinton put it in the early 1990s, that Americans can survive on service industry jobs, that we don't need those low-tech jobs, and said bye-bye to the income of the American worker. Now that Trump has brought back that 20% tariff on those businesses that left and went to Mexico profiteering, what does this mean for the United States? Most realize the state of Tennessee is one of only 2 states that is what is called a right-to-work state, meaning that they're not forced to join a labor union by law. The state of Tennessee now has Nissan, Saturn, and Volkswagen. The car companies will most likely target states such as Tennessee that are a right-to-work state when coming back across the border, because of course that would be a 20% tax per car brought back into the United States. Cars that used to be built by American workers now, and for the last 20 some odd years, have been built in Mexico. Again, getting around EPA rules and regulations, wage laws, labor laws, and labor unions. All of which are supporters of the Democratic Party, the very party that passed the North American Free Trade Agreement written by Hillary Clinton, that she bragged of in the early 1990s, that has helped leave America impoverished and in debt. Those that dislike Trump have not seen what's gone on. The liberal mainstream media does not want to report the changes that are to come by undoing NAFTA, bringing the jobs back to the United States, bringing back the prosperity that we once had. You don't need mass social programs when jobs are readily available. So the leftists that pushed more socialism and angry over the attempts to overturn Obamacare need to remember the prosperity of the 80s. That prosperity will be back again, and social programs will not need to be on the rise. Was it the Democratic Party's plan to pass the North American Free Trade Agreement, send our jobs to Mexico, and just raise taxes and bring in more socialism, and have everybody have to draw off on from the state, as opposed to working for a living and supporting themselves and their family? There's a big difference in the amount of income one receives from government aid as opposed to working, even a part-time job. The prosperity is on its way back. Indeed, Trump may make America great again, as he had promised, and that was one of his first fulfillments of his campaign promise to repeal parts of NAFTA. I look forward to seeing the new changes to come. And I hope the liberal Democrats are also seeing this. It reminds me of when Clinton had taken office and NAFTA was passed. Those such as Rush Limbaugh even came out with books saying, "See, I told you so." Because the liberal Democrats didn't want to admit at that time that their own party was sabotaging the American economy. I look forward to seeing the new changes that Trump is going to bring. And I also look forward to it as being a citizen of the state of Tennessee. How many jobs will be flooding into Tennessee because we're a right-to-work state and the car companies will be coming back across the border? This has been another End Times Prophecy News Update. Carrie Geren Scoggins. Thank you for listening.